from my perspective, although Brexit is obviously a very important issue, it can be quite a scary issue, but the reality is there's nothing we can do right now. So the best thing we can do is to continue to conduct business as usual, but keep an eye on how things are developing.
I know you've been to this conference a few years in a row now. How important are events like this to you, and what do you kind of get out of it?
I mean, events like this are hugely important to us. We're an international business, and particularly this kind of event that attracts such a huge international audience. But this event itself is very much unique. It attracts so many different delegates, but from an area that we wouldn't normally access. So a lot of Russian clients, a lot of Balkan clients. We don't normally see those at our events, say in London or in India or in the United States. So, as you say, this is our fourth year here now, and it's one event that we absolutely put in our calendar very much on January the 1st and make sure that we attend every time.
Okay, let's get over to the big scary B word, Brexit. I'm sure a lot of people here are asking you about it. How is it going to affect this industry?
Well, we've just spent some time this morning discussing Brexit, and I think that the simple truth is that, like many things, this is one huge unknown. Lots of people are trying to make sense of it, but the reality is that the sense will come over time. There's so much to discuss. There's a degree of animosity on both sides at the moment. There's a lot of confusion. It's being used for political purposes. So as business people, we need to be able to take a step back, allow the politicians to do what the politicians need to do, and we need to remain focused on what does this actually mean for our businesses. And the truth is, right now, nobody can give us a straight answer on that. So from my perspective, although Brexit is obviously a very important issue, it can be quite a scary issue, but the reality is there's nothing we can do right now. So the best thing we can do is to continue to conduct business as usual, but keep an eye on how things are developing. But we know that we will have at least a transition period of 3 years. That might even be 5 or even 6 years. So there is no real need, I think, to panic at this point. It's very much, I guess, what we used to call a watching brief. Wait, see what happens, but be prepared to react when we do.
So with that in mind, looking towards the future, what kind of things are you working on at the moment? What can we expect to see from you going forward?
So what we've done at the moment is we've gone around every single jurisdiction in Europe and we've examined what the requirements are to operate on a ground level in business there. So in the worst case scenario, and a UK company can no longer passport into Europe, on behalf of our clients, we've looked at what it would take for them to not necessarily relocate, but to open up secondary operations within mainland Europe. So we've mapped and we've examined every single requirement, not just how do you obtain that authorization, but how do you maintain it? What is it you need to do? And on a more softer level, what are those regulators like to work with? Who are the more progressive regulators? Who are the ones who are more welcoming? Who are the ones who really don't want these industries on their doorstep? And that's proved very, very interesting.